Hello students, I hope you are all fine and in good health. I am starting with a brand new chapter, the Browning version. It is a one-act play. It is written by Terence Rattigan. We will not read the entire drama here, but we will read a part of the drama. And here we will find four important characters. The first important character is definitely Mr. Crocker Harris. The second important character is Taplow. The third important character is Frank, and the fourth important character is the wife of Mr. Crocker Harris by the name of Millie Crocker Harris. Now, uh, having been told to you all that four important characters are here, we won't find Crocker Harris, any dialogue of Crocker Harris throughout the entire drama. We won't find any dialogue. We will get to know about Crocker Harris as a person when Taplow, a student, will converse with a young teacher by the name of Frank. We will get to know about Crocker Harris through their conversation. And another important thing that I like to say before I start with the main text of this particular chapter, the Browning version, that Mr. Crocker Harris, he is on the verge of retirement, and he's a literature teacher. He actually teaches the classical literature to his students, and he is a very popular teacher among the students, though he is very strict. At the same time, he is very honest, and strict in the sense that he never ever cracks a joke in the class, and whenever he cracks a joke, that joke is the classical joke that is very difficult for the student to understand and also to appreciate. Now, Crocker Harris had many good qualities. Unlike the other teachers, he never ever declares the result before the actual time of the announcement of the result. And apart from that, he is very strict, and students liked his strictness, his strict nature. Then obviously his way of teaching, all these things are very popular among the students, and that is the cause of big jealousy for the other teachers. And Frank is a good example of that. Frank is very frank with his students. He is a young teacher, as I already told you all, and apart from that, he is a science teacher, but he never likes teaching science. And you will find in the course of this drama that when Taplow decided to opt for science after passing the lower fifth grade, it is Frank who discourages him from taking up science as a main subject. So, and apart from that, we will find that Frank is waiting near the house of Crocker Harris. Crocker Harris is not present in the house. Taplow also came there to show up his pending assignment to Crocker Harris because he missed one or two of his classes, and because Taplow was very much scared that he haven't submitted the assignment right on time, that maybe for that reason he might not be promoted to the next class, because Crocker Harris is a very strict teacher, a very tough nut to crack. So he came with submitting the project assignment and also to meet with Crocker Harris, but unfortunately Crocker Harris is not in his house. Instead, he found Frank waiting near the house of Crocker Harris. Frank and Taplow, they got indulged in a conversation, and from their conversation only we get a deeper insight into the nature, personality of Crocker Harris. And another important thing is that Millie Crocker Harris, that is the wife of Crocker Harris, he is having a sort of extramarital relationship with Frank. A hint has been there in this particular drama. No elaborate dialogue we find between Frank and Millie Crocker Harris, but we find an indication that Millie Crocker Harris is actually having a sort of extramarital relationship with Frank, and Frank is waiting to meet with Millie Crocker Harris because he knew it very well Crocker Harris is not in his house. By accident, Taplow also came there, and we find a conversation between the student and the teacher. And it seems that from Taplow we get a clear picture of the education system during those days in Britain. That is one thing, and we also get a clear overview of the personality of a man by the name of Mr. Crocker Harris. Though he is someone who is very strict and very punctual, loved his duties as a teacher, very noble, very generous, and very humble. But despite he is not a very easy going one, that in the sense that he is very strict from all over his personality. If we consider him as a teacher, he is a very strict one, but the students, they loved him a lot, and it seems that he had a magnetic presence in the heart and minds of the students. Despite his strictness, the students, they all like him, and Taplow is also one of them. And he strongly protests to Frank that Mr. Crocker Harris is not a sadist at all. Now, sadist is a term that you will find in this drama. Sadist actually means a person who enjoys inflicting pain on others. Now, Crocker Harris is not like that, and he's a very likable character. We find that from Taplow, from his body language, it is clear that despite his strict nature, despite his honest nature, despite he is totally different from the rest of the other lot of teaching faculty members, the students really love and admire him a lot. So, dear students, let me continue with the very first line. But before I start with the dialogue between Frank and Taplow, let me come to the intro part. I have given a bit of intro on my own, so that you will get so that you can receive an overview of the lesson. Now I am about to discuss few lines that is written before the conversation that started between Frank and Taplow. Before that conversation, let me go through the extract, or let me go through the introductory part a bit, so that it becomes clear to you all. So, see, it is written, this is an excerpt from the Browning version. Now, Browning version is actually the name of the drama, and it is a lengthy one, but we are reading a small portion of it. The scene is set in a school. Frank is young and Crocker Harris middle-aged. Both are teachers, and as already told you, Crocker Harris is on the verge of his retirement. He is an experienced teacher, likable to his students despite his strict nature. Frank is a young school teacher, and already he is having an affair with Millie Crocker Harris, as I have given an glimpse of that one also to you all, dear students. So both are masters, that is, both are teachers. Taplow is a boy of 16 who has come in to do extra work for Crocker Harris. I already told you that Taplow had missed one or two of his classes, and he had a fear at the back of his mind that if I don't submit the assignment right on time, that he failed to submit. He decided to submit his long pending work to Crocker Harris, because he felt that if it is not submitted, who knows, he might not be promoted, he might be detained. That is the reason he came to submit it. And all of a sudden he found Frank also waiting near the house of Crocker Harris. Frank came for a different purpose, and Taplow came for a different purpose. We will not find any dialogue of Crocker Harris throughout the entire drama. Dear students, this is very important. I like to clarify once again what I told right now, that we will not find any sort of dialogue of Crocker Harris. We will get a better picture and a clear picture of Crocker Harris, his personality. We will get some information about how he dealt with his students, what he was as a person, from the conversation that Taplow and Frank, they were involved in. Particularly from Taplow only, we will get information about Crocker Harris. Though he is not present in this particular drama that we are about to read, but in his absence lies his real presence. I repeat one more time, it might sound ironical to you all, but let me clarify it once again. In his absence lies his real presence. He is not present, but he is very much present. Why? Because in the course of conversation that Taplow had with Frank, we get to know more about Crocker Harris, because Taplow went on imitating Crocker Harris, the way he talks, the way he presents himself in the class. But that Actually, that made Frank very much. Frank was overjoyed at that mimicry, but Taplow, we get to know that though he did a bit of mimicry of Mr. Crocker Harris, but he had shown a lot of reverence, or rather to say, he has a lot of respect for the man, for Mr. Crocker Harris. So let me continue. Again, I'm repeating that particular intro part because the introduction is very important. The scene is set in a school. Frank is young and Crocker Harris middle-aged. Both are masters. Taplow is a boy of 16 who has come in to do extra work for Crocker Harris. But the latter has not yet arrived. But latter means Crocker Harris, he is not in his house. He came for submission of his assignment work, but Crocker Harris is not in his house. And Frank finds Taplow waiting, and Taplow is there, and even Frank also is there. And as I told you, I'm repeating it once again, both came for a different purpose. Frank came to meet with Millie Crocker Harris because he's dating Millie Crocker Harris, and Taplow came for a different purpose. Now, because of Taplow, he can't actually call Millie Crocker Harris also. So Frank is not very much happy to see Taplow, and in order to pass his time, he went on a casual conversation with Taplow. And from this casual conversation only, we will get to know the mentality of Frank also, who is not a genuine teacher by profession. By profession he is a teacher, but he is not a genuine teacher. And he never liked his subject at all. But having said that, Crocker Harris is a very genuine teacher who loved his subject a lot. He is the man of promises, and he is a very strict teacher, and he teaches with lot of compassion, with lot of passion. Now all this information I'm giving you in advance because as we will move along with the drama, with the explanation, as I will move along with it, it will be much more clear to you all. But the latter has not yet arrived, and Frank finds Taplow waiting. Frank, do I know you? Taplow, no sir. Frank, what is your name? Taplow, Taplow. Frank, Taplow, no I don't. You are not a scientist, I gather. Are you a scientist? He is making fun of Taplow. That do I know you? I think I don't know you. What is your name? So Taplow definitely told that my name is Taplow. Taplow, no sir, I am still in the lower fifth. That means Frank actually used to teach higher classes. And Taplow, he is still in the lower fifth grade. I can't specialize until next term. That is to say, if I have got my remove all right. Now remove means if I only get my promotion. Now remove in the context of this particular text, it means promotion. Now Taplow is saying that, sir, you don't know me because you teach higher classes. I am still in the lower fifth. Unless and until I get my promotion. If I get my promotion, definitely I can specialize. Unless and until I get that, I can't specialize in any subject. If I have got my remove all right, that means if I get my promotion properly, then definitely I can specialize. I can opt for a specialized branch of study. Frank, don't you know if you have got your remove? Now Frank is saying you are not sure because tomorrow is the day when the results will be declared. I guess you don't know that whether you have passed or not, whether you have got your remove or not in advance. Taplow, no sir. Mr. Crocker Harris doesn't tell us the results like the other masters. Very, very important line. I already told you that he is a genuine person. He is not like the other teachers who actually leaks out the results before the actual results were actually declared. The other teachers, they used to say the results to the students, but Mr. Crocker Harris is a very genuine teacher and he sincerely abides by the rules and laws of the school ethics and code of conduct. So Frank is saying, you don't know whether you have got your remove or not, whether you are promoted or not, you don't know it. Taplow, no sir. Because Mr. Crocker Harris doesn't tell us the results like the other masters. Maybe Crocker Harris is their class teacher. So Taplow is saying that no sir, there is no possibility as such because Mr. Crocker Harris is a very genuine teacher and he is not like the other teachers, and he never tells the results like the other masters before the actual declaration of the results. So I don't know whether I have got my promotion, that is remove or not. So dear students, I am stopping this audio lecture right here. In my next audio lecture, I will continue with the drama. Please listen to this audio lecture and clarify your doubts if any. Thank you students. Thank you all.